Today we are going to talk about multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. When we are multiplying fractions and mixed numbers, we will follow these 4 steps. The very first step is that we need to make sure that both of our numbers are in fact fractions. So we don't want mixed numbers. If we have a mixed number, we need to convert it into an improper fraction. So if I have 2 and 1/3, I need to convert it to 7/3 to be able to multiply. This is okay. We want fractions. We don't want this. Okay. After we make sure that both of our factors are in fact fractions, we will go ahead and multiply our numerators. So we will multiply across the top numbers. Step 3 will be to multiply across those denominators. And then step 4 will be to make sure that your answer is simplified. Now, your answer can be written as a mixed number or an improper fraction. Either one is okay, but it must be simplified. So it must be in the lowest terms in either mixed number or improper fraction. So if we looked at that algebraically here, I have fraction AB multiplied by fraction CD. Now I just multiply straight across, A times C, multiply those denominators straight across, B times D, getting me AC, BD. Let's take a look at that with numbers. If I have the fractions 3/5 times 1/2, I go ahead and double check that they are both fractions. They are both fractions here, so I can leave them as they are. I'm going to write them a little bit bigger for myself here. 3/5 times 1/2. Step number 2 is to multiply my numerators. So I just multiply 3 times 1. If I want to lay that out for myself, I can do that. And then step 2 would be to multiply my denominators. 5 times 2. 3 times 1 is 3, and 5 times 2 is 10. 3/10 is as low as it will go. That is in its simplest form. So we have our product. 3/5 times 1/2 will get me 3/10. All right, we've got another example here. 4/7 times 1/8. Pause the video and let's try this problem here. Okay, so we've got 4/7 times 1/8. Now I want to show you a trick to simplifying. One thing that we can do, just like we've been doing, is 4 over 56. I can divide both of those by 4, getting me 1/14th. But there's another way to simplify when we are using fractions. We are multiplying fractions. When I have numbers diagonally from each other that are multiples of each other, I can simplify. So 4 is a multiple of both 4 and 8. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I multiply across my new numbers. 1 times 1 is 1. 7 times 2 is 14. I get the same answer both times, whether I simplify at the end or before I even get started. Either option works. Do what works best for you. All right, let's move on here. We've got 1/2 times 4 and 2/3. Now our first step is to make sure both our both our numbers are fractions. But in fact here, we've got a mixed number, so we need to convert that. So my new multiplication problem will be 1/2 times 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. So here's my new multiplication problem. Again, I multiply in step 2 my numerators, 1 times 14, and in step 2, multiply my denominators, 2 times 3. That leaves me with 14 sixths. Now, here I have a fraction that is not yet simplified, so I need to go ahead and divide both of those. I can divide them both by 2, leaving me with 7 thirds. This is a fine answer. If I want to leave this in an improper fraction, I can, but also 2 and 1/3 is also an acceptable answer. Alrighty, let's go ahead and try this last problem here. 2 and 1/4 times 4/5. Pause your video and try solving this problem. So the first step is going to be to convert this mixed number into an improper fraction, which will leave me with 9/4 times 4/5. Now, if both of these are mixed numbers, I would need to convert both of those. I notice that I have 4 and 4, and those are diagonal from each other. So I'm going to cross that out. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And that will leave me with 9 times 1, which is 9. 1 times 5, which is 5. Now, if I wanted to simplify at the end, 9 times 4 is 36. And 4 times 5 is 20. I definitely could, and I would get the same answer. Remember that this is an acceptable answer because it is in lowest terms. But if I would prefer to write that as a mixed number, that is acceptable as well.